I always tell my friends that whenever you read a scripture that's a bit confusing, make sure you read the verses before that and the ones below it so that you can get the full context. For instance, the one you're quoting, where he says, you're going to see this, when you see this and that, those will be the days of, he called it like birth pangs, the days of sorrows. I told you the same sermon was preached in all the other synoptic gospels. So Luke puts it this way. He says, when you shall see Jerusalem surrounded with the armies, then know the desolation thereof is at hand. Then let those that be in Jerusalem flee to the mountains. And so the end he was talking about here was not cosmic collapse, but covenantal end. It was not the universe that was going to be destroyed. Otherwise, he wouldn't tell them to run to the mountains, because the mountains are also part of the earth. If the mountains are part of the earth, it means even those that run to the mountains are going to be destroyed with the rest of the world. So that's why he's saying, when you see Jerusalem surrounded with the armies, let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains. So he's specifically talking about a particular geographical area. Because, for us to begin delving into all these instructions Jesus is giving, we must first of all know what question was he answering. And so the question was in the beginning of that chapter. So in the first chapter 24, verse 3, they tell him, Lord, when will these things be? Let me paraphrase how that chapter starts. It says, Jesus departed and walked out of the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the building of the temple. And Jesus said, you see these things? None of these things is going to remain. Not even a stone will be left upon another. And as they sat on the Mount of Olives, they came to Jesus privately and said, when shall these things be? So you see, the question is, they are talking about the temple. That is the topic. And so when you find Jesus giving them different instructions, he's answering the question, when will these things be? So the first question you should ask is, what things? Because he's saying that this beautiful temple, that was the Herodian temple, actually they say it was the most magnificent, world wonder in those days. Even up to now, there are not many structures. It was an architectural marvel. And Jesus is saying this was going to be destroyed and not one stone will remain upon another. And so they're asking, when is this going to happen? And so Jesus now begins to answer them. He says, okay, do you see all these things? This is going to come down. And so he begins giving them signs. This will happen. There will be wars. There will be famine. There will be this. But the climax is when you see Jerusalem surrounded with the army, then know the actual desolation has come. And everything Jesus